of the top karters in the world for the indoor. However, in recent years, he's been focusing more on motocross out there in Belgium. But he has also, in 2015, he was second in the 24-hour race at Zolder in cars. Now, I've raced many times at Zolder in the Touring Cup there, so years ago, so I know that place well, and he's really one to watch. Regis Gosselin, he's making a move back towards karting this year. He's planning to race in the World Championships again, and he starts off his year with the BRKC. Sam Slater, probably Britain's most prolific international driver. We've seen him get better by the year here, but now he's racing a lot more. He's one of those who'll be doing this continental circus, if you like, with the Polish, the Belgian National Championship as well. So Sam Slater, Harvey Bull, we saw Harvey Bull, well, a couple of years ago. He's going to hopefully step up here. Joris Sturm, the Dutch driver, he's getting better every year, gradually. Callum Conway and Zach, the times are going to start coming in now. It's Sam Slater who got listed at the top, but the check is coming out. And with Ben Churchill who's fastest. So Ben Churchill's quickest. Ryan takes the first place. Ryan Smith currently quicker. We're going to see him beaten. Yes, we are. It's Sam Slater. Sam Slater, one of Britain's top, has Joris there into third place there. Conor Marsh being pushed to fourth. Ben Churchill fifth. Zach come up to fifth place. Not expecting that one. And Sam Spinell up in second. Regis Gosselin in there, but it's still Sam Slater. Sam Slater will start from the pole now. He'll be really pleased with that. He'll love to look over his shoulder there and see that he has outqualified Spinell, Gosselin and Sturm. These are people he knows well, racing internationally as he does. Lewis, now Sam, even though he's a regular abroad, he will be pleased to outqualify Spinell and Gosselin, yeah?
Absolutely, he'll be very pleased with that. And Kart 19 as well, which didn't go out in the first 5 heats, so it went out first time in the previous one, so 31.9, so cracking lap time. He's only a couple of hundreds ahead of Spinell and Gosselin. Those two are teammates, so I expect them two are just going to go look after each other and try and battle with Slayer, but Sam's got to definitely work on his hands to keep them behind.
Can you see him doing this? Can he pull this off?
I probably couldn't have done before qualifying, but yeah, fantastic job, Sam. Very well done to him. It's going to be very, very tough. As Lewis rightly pointed out, there's two teammates behind him, both very, very fast. They will be working together. Really looking forward to watching this one, though.
Absolutely, because they're going to take the start, and Sam Slater is leading them round. He's going to have to make this a good one, and he's going to have to make it now, because here he is. There's the predominantly green helmeted Slater. He's got Sam Spinell, the dual Belgian and British national, and he is chasing down Sam Slater at the start. They're into the snail section now. In the snail section, is Spinell going to make a move? No, he's not. Now, the problem Slater's got, he's got two known very fiery drivers behind him. If anyone's going to make a move on you, it's going to be Spinell and it's going to be Gosselin. These two are not noted for hanging back. They're very, very combative competitors, these two. And Sam Slater, his big hope, Lewis Manley, is going to be that they actually fight each other, because, to be honest with you, when you talk about Sam Spinell, Regis Gosselin, they'll fight you whether you're first or 10th. They want to fight anybody out on the track, and at the moment it's going to be each other. Yeah,
exactly. Second and third with Spinell, Gosselin 2 and 3, expected to look after each other and not fight. It depends how close they are to Slayer. It's pretty close at the moment, but it depends how much momentum they get down the back straight. I think Slayer's got enough of a gap not to defend. Yep, doesn't need to defend really, because Spinell's not quite close enough. Unless you were Ruben Boutins, he'll just go for it. So Spinell wouldn't this time. So he's closer a little bit at the minute. So no point pitting yet, because it'll be too early. So I think there is a pitter, Conor Marsh, I think.
Into the pits, pitting extremely early. Well, traditionally we've seen Conor being extremely fast here, so obviously he made a mistake on his qualifying lap, so he knows he has pace, so he just wants to get himself into some clear air and try to launch himself up the field.
Now, Conor Marsh is relying on the fact that he thinks that they'll be holding themselves up in front of him. That's why he's taken that pit stop there. He's taken the early pit stop to get away from those who are around him. He thinks he can be quicker on his own on the track. Now, we're going to find out the answer to that, but certainly doing everything he can to hold the lead now is Sam Slater. A pit stop now by Slater would be a mistake. It might be an interesting move by Spinell or Gosselin should they feel they are faster. So it may not be unthinkable that Slater and Gosselin may make an early pit stop. However, we can equally see a big lunge down the backstretch, which they're heading onto now. So here they come. Slater onto the backstretch. There's Spinell. There is Gosselin. Neither are close enough to make a move. They close up with the concertina effect going into that final corner. There's Sam Slater. A great view of the race leader there. One of Britain's top international drivers on the karting scene. An indoor specialist. Sam Slater has really grown into the sport in the last couple of years, but he's got Sam Spinell and Regis Gosselin. So if ever he's been driving well. Now is a very good time. Ryan Smith is looking there excellent in 4th place, and Joris Sturm, the Dutch driver, in 5th, ahead of Ben Churchill in 6th. But that really is a bit of a 5-car breakaway for the lead, being led by Slater and backed up by Joris Sturm, the Dutch driver. And Slater there with the lead, still no pit stops yet. Lewis Manley, do you think that Slater, or sorry, not Slater, but Spinell and Ghostland might be an interesting idea to pit stop very soon?
Not at the moment, because they'll be coming up in traffic for like 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th places. So top 3 are breaking away a bit from Ryan Smith because he's under pressure from Joris Sturm. So Slater's got still enough of a gap down the straight to not defend. So I know Gosling's not going to attack Spinell at this moment. It depends who finishes ahead of who at the finish, because it depends if the undercut or overcut works. I expect they're going to stay out, yep. So there's no point pitting yet, because as I say, they're going to be completely in traffic and that will really hurt their race.
And of course, down in the pits, Carl Power.
Yeah, from where I'm sat in the pit lane, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Regis Gosling, the first one to pit out of this. He's got the least to lose out of the top 3. As Lewis said, they're going to try and make a bit of a break so they can clear the midfield. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see a pit stop from Gosling soon.
Yeah, that's very interesting, you see, because if you look at it, the tail isn't very slow. I think when you consider 10 seconds, where would that? Yeah, it probably will put him at the back there of the number 10, which is Harvey Bull. Now Conor Marsh is going to be a pretty good measure as to how fast the tail really is, I think, because Conor Marsh, we saw him pit early. Obviously, he's a potential winner in any given heat race, as we see Sam Slater coming down the backstretch. There's Sam Slater. Now, Sam Slater will probably be actually, believe it or not, aware of what's happened with Conor Marsh, because when he looks across to get some kind of reference, he'll probably have a golden view of Conor Marsh on various parts of the track, the way the layout works. Now, he will know that Marsh is running last, but he will also know that Marsh is fast because he knows him from years of racing. Well, out in the pits.
Yep, we've got Harvey Bull in the pits. That was a good first stop. Coming into the second stop. That's a very long second stop. He didn't quite get that one nailed, and he's come out all on his own. So Conor Marsh is well up the road ahead.
Yeah, Conor Marsh should be pleased with that because, of course, Harvey Bull has been showing well actually in pre-event testing, but was going to be the next driver he was going to get to in his comeback, and he's managed to leapfrog Harvey Bull. It's exactly what he planned to do with that cycling of pit stops. Now, it makes you wonder whether, as you say, Ghostland, Kyle, you were saying about Ghostland you thought was the most likely in. Will Ghostland be thinking of that? He's certainly not been making any aggressive moves to pass Spinell or, for that matter, Sam Slater, but he is very close behind them and, you know, close enough to maybe feel that he's suffering for following them. But no, he's still not come in. They come past you, still 3, and then we've got Ryan Smith 4th and Joris Sturm 5th. Now, Sturm may be tempted if he thinks that Smith's holding Sturm down the inside. Sturm has actually passed position. Smith's coming back at him, but it is Sturm who's got it sorted. Smith's having another look, but Smith is forced back to 5th place there by Joris Sturm. The Dutchman now, there's absolutely no point. I was about to say that Joris Sturm might want to think about coming to pits. He's not going to, surely. He's clear of Smith, and he has clear air. He gained nothing by pitting now. There's nobody between him and the 3-way fight for the lead. The first one he can see is Regis Ghostland. Maybe, if anything, he'll be mindful of whether Ghostland's going to pit. But here comes Ryan Smith. Ryan Smith is looking pretty racy into the Snell section. Ryan Smith could be looking at the inside, but he's not. He's not quite close enough in the Snell section to Joris Sturm, as we see them on the screen coming out of the Snell section there. Lewis Manley, Ryan Smith is not done, is he?
Not at all. He would have been surprised with that move on Sturm. I have to say, Conor Marsh's early pit stop is going to pay off, to be honest. It's very clever to pit early because he could easily undercut Ryan Smith and Ben Churchill. Or not Churchill, Joris Sturm, I should say. He's pitted early because he's now only 12.8 beyond the leader, so he could be a net 4th at the moment. Depends how the top 3 do their pit stops and how quick they are.
With Conor Marsh, though, he's just coming up on number 15, which is Zach Venn, who hasn't pitted yet. So whether Zach Venn pits now or not, or whether he can pass him quickly, is going to be pivotal to Conor Marsh's race.
Well, that's going to be pretty, as you say, pretty pivotal, because what we were looking at was a situation where he was 12 seconds behind. If we count 10 seconds as a pit stop on any given lap, that puts him actually closer than he was when he came into the pits. So looking at the times, Conor Marsh is actually the fastest on the track. Conor Marsh is the lap record holder for this race, and Conor Marsh is doing absolutely everything he needs to, but he's caught up to Zach Venn, as you say. Now, what's going to happen in the Snell section? Remember this, oh, he's got him clean. Of course, Conor Marsh, having made the pit stop, couldn't rely on the blue flags for Venn to be getting out of the way. Conor Marsh had to pass him on merit, and he's lost almost no time at all. To be honest with you, that's probably the cleanest and most decisive overtaking we've seen. Carl, it would have been out of view for you, but that was a pretty good clean one going into the snail.
Oh, perfect. He needed to do that. As I said, it was absolutely pivotal, and he's the fastest on track. So, do you think the top three could be under threat from Conor Marsh here? I think definitely Ryan Smith and Joris Stern might be starting to feel a bit of pressure here.
I honestly, I'm going to ask Lewis Manley, one of Britain's main hosts, his opinion on this, but I think that Regis Ghoslan is the one most under threat from Conor Marsh right now, because when they pit, Conor Marsh is actually closing in on those leaders. If Ghoslan was to pit now, I actually believe Ghoslan could end up winning the race if Conor Marsh was making inroads like he is, which would suggest that it is possible to go faster than Sam Slater, who is actually running dead ahead of Spinell and Ghoslan. That would mean that Ghoslan, if he was running faster and he was actually being held up ultimately by race leader Sam Slater, should actually leapfrog those two, and Conor Marsh would come out in the mix with the race leaders, Ghoslan being well ahead. Complicated that sounds. What do you think, Lewis Manley?
Yeah, as I was saying, Conor Marsh gave the thumbs up to Zach Venn, so I think Zach didn't want to fight with him, so he just let him go. So because he knew he hasn't pitched yet, and Conor Marsh has, so there was no point fighting really. So, and I think Spinell and Ghoslan have taken Slater for the lead, so Slater's now down to third.
Enormous lunge, because we had Slater go from first to third. It's Spinell who made the move coming out of the snail area, and Ghoslan went with him. And Ghoslan, there is Spinell in the lead.
And Sam Slater pits. He pits immediately. I think he had lunged and he got hung out to dry on the outside, which often happens here. So Sam, I think he was holding the leaders up. The lead, second and third place. I think he was holding them up. So he's pitted out. He's come out so close to Conor Marsh.
Conor Marsh round the outside into the snail section. He's got it. Conor Marsh round the outside, but no, Slater just holds him off. Slater had the inside line. That's the only thing that saved him there, because for sure it was Conor Marsh who actually arrived at the snail earliest, but now they're coming on the back straight. It's Sam Slater versus Conor Marsh down the back stretch. This is Conor Marsh's big chance. Can he make the move to the inside? We can't really see. We're not sure. We're going to see when they come back in view. It's still Sam Slater ahead. Obviously, they're down the order on actual listings because they've been in the pits, but this is potentially the race lead. Now, this is the whole reason why Conor Marsh came into the pits as early as he did, to be this close to Sam Slater. We said that given 10 seconds being the pit stop, he was actually 2 seconds away, and as you can see, he's right in the tail of Sam Slater. In fact, he may make a move down the back stretch. Is Sam Slater going to cover it? Conor Marsh is going to go for it, surely. Now we've sort of lost the screen there. We'll see what happens. Yes, it's still Slater. But what's happening up ahead? Yes, on screen there, they're the race leaders. It's Sam Spinell from Regis Ghoslan. Now Ghoslan, is he going to follow Spinell? Is he going to pit?
This pressure from Conor Marsh on Sam Slater is just leaving an open goal for the two leaders, for Joris Stern and Ghoslan, for Sam Spinell and Ghoslan now, because the pin has been pulled. They've got really good pace, and Sam's having to go defensive now, so this is destroying Sam's hope of the win.
Yeah, and what's interesting, it may well be hurting. Oh, we've got a pit visitor for you, Carl.
Yep, as Conor Marsh makes a move on Slater and goes through, we have number 8, which is Ben Churchill, into the pits. Let's see where he feeds out. He's going to come out very, very close to Zach Venn, just behind Zach Venn, but I'm not sure Venn has pitted yet.
Yeah, and in fact, Conor Marsh has got in front of Sam Slater in the snail area. Lewis Manley, you saw it. That was quite a move, wasn't it?
I didn't see it, but I just noticed he is ahead of him, so now he can get going again, and hopefully he'll be hoping to leapfrog Ghoslan and Spinell, but at the minute it's just under 13 seconds, so it's not quite going to happen in there, because normally pit stops can be about 10 and a half seconds ish, maybe 11 if you want to keep it safe. So as he's now, I think, in a net third place, because he started 6th, so he's going to be in a net third at the moment.
I saw the Conor Marsh move, and it was rude but fair.
Well, that's Conor Marsh through and through. The interesting thing is we've been looking on screen a lot. Sam Spinell, the leader, Regis Ghoslan, they continue on their way. They have not pitted, which is why the leader Slater, who has, and Conor Marsh, who we've been talking about, is also out of picture. He's pitted. Now, Conor Marsh's whole race strategy was hinged on an early pit stop, allowing him to carry more speed to leapfrog the leader, who was then Slater. He came out when the pit stop cycled through. He was right with Slater. He's now currently fastest now that he's cleared Slater. The big question mark, having achieved his aim with Slater, is it enough? And in the pits, Gosling.
Yep, Goslin's in the pits now, so he's going to try and put the pressure on Spinell. We expect to see Spinell in this next lap. Oh, that was very tight on the second one, but it was a clean stop. And we've got number 14 in as well. That is Callum Conway. There's Callum Conway in. Good first line. Just did that. Good second one, and he's going to come out just behind Ben Churchill.
Excellent job there by Callum Conway, the young Scotsman. He's going to be moving up to cars this year. He's racing in the Scottish Citroen C1 Championship. And all into the pits. It's Sam Spinell, the race leader.
Right on cue. Sam Spinell in. That's exactly the thing to do. Just cover off Gosling at sea. So he's had a good first stop. Nice and calm. It's going to be tight, but I think he's going to do it.
Oh, it's Gosling around the outside. What's going to happen in the snail? Goslin's fighting around the outside, but Spinell's got it. Is Gosling going to go inside? Spinell's covered it. And there's Conor Marsh right with the bow and Slater. This is now working its way to being a four-way fight for the lead as we come round onto the backstretch. We're looking at on screen. There's the backstretch, and here they come. There's the leader, Spinell. Regis Gosling, the Belgian, is behind him. And where are they? They're going to come back into view across the line. We're looking at Joris Sturm there, running in a bit further down the order. But here's Spinell. He's got Regis Gosling all over him, and Conor Marsh is trying to get himself in the mix. And there's Sam Slater in fourth on screen. Conor Marsh is fastest. Conor Marsh is fastest on the track right now in his pursuit of the two ahead of him who are going to be the lead. Joris Sturm is technically the leader right now. He's yet to pit. Ryan Smith is up there in second place, the Scotsman, and Sam Spinell, who's probably going to come out the leader when the two ahead pit, is about 5 seconds behind them. But Regis Gosling is all over him as they cross the line. There's Joris Sturm with the actual lead, and Ryan Smith behind. So we're looking at the backstretch, and we're looking at the backstretch, waiting for those leads to come through. There's the snail area, and there is the race lead. Goodness, look at that. It's Sam Slater in fourth, but up at the front is Spinell, and he's got Gosling and Marsh. Marsh is now right in the mix with that. So there they are, the three leaders. It's Sam Spinell, Belgian-British national, Regis Gosling, the Belgian motocross rider of recent years, but now back into karting. He has been competing at the very top, one of the front runners in the World Championship, and he's got Conor Marsh right with him. Conor Marsh, we've seen win British Rental Kart Championship races before. He's going to try and win this one. He's well placed to offer a challenge here. There's still 5 minutes to go. Lewis Manley, Conor Marsh could still be on for this, but job on to do it.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's the star of the race at the moment because he started down in sixth and he's now going to be in the net third as he's right behind the leading two, which are the teammates. There's Gosling tried to go for a move, Spinell cutted it off, defended. So I don't know what's going to happen at the moment because anything could happen still because he could go for a move and make a mistake and lose a couple of places. So it depends if he follows him home or not.
Absolutely, it was side by side down the backstretch there with Sam Spinell trying the inside to cover the next corner from Regis Gosling. Gosling himself was trying to make a move around the outside. Spinell, Gosling are definitely very combative drivers, potentially the most actual sort of combat orientated drivers in this whole championship, and while they were looking one side and the other, but Conor Marsh has thrown himself into the mix. Conor Marsh sent down the inside. Oh, we've got Smith in.
We've got Ryan Smith in the pits. He was in that tense battle with Joris Sturm, so like with the leaders, expect Sturm to try and retaliate and pit this lap, but Ryan's going to hope that Sturm hasn't noticed and stays out.
Slater, fastest lap by Sam Slater, and he is the one fourth, and he's right on the tail now. It's a four-way fight, another one in.
We've also got Zach Venn in the pits as well, and he's going to come out just ahead of Harvey Ball there, so I think they're fighting for 9th and 10th places.
And talking of a fight, it's a huge fight for victory here. We've got Sam Spinell with just under 4 minutes to go. There's Sam Spinell, the joint British-Belgian national, and Regis Gosling and Conor Marsh and Sam Slater there. Joris Sturm is still technically the leader. He's yet to pit. He's going to go for the late stop strategy, but surely he's going to come out in this. 5th place can be the best he can hope for because he's only nearly 7 seconds up the road. So it's not going to be Joris Sturm's race. He's leading at the moment. This is the real, actual fight for the lead. In reality, once Sturm pits. Oh, and it's down the backstretch. Gosling looked like he was going to take the lunge there. Surely he's going to be... Well, they're all in contact, quite literally here, as they come across the line. Look at this four-way fight for the lead. Sam Spinell, Regis Gosling, and Conor Marsh and Sam Slater. There's Slater in the green coloured helmet at the back of that four-way fight. He was leading originally, and now he's back in the mix for the lead. He's running fourth at the moment, but my goodness, he's running fourth, but closer to the actual leader than most people have been when running second. But look at this as they come down the backstretch, side by side down the backstretch. It's still Sam Spinell. this could still go one of four ways, Lewis Manley, with 2.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very exciting race to watch. The top four being very close. At the moment, there's second, third, fourth and fifth, as Sturm hasn't pitted yet, because there's only 2.5 minutes to go. So I expect he'll be in this lap or the next lap, because the pit will be closing, so it'll be the last chance to pitch soon. So he's down the back stretch now. So he could still keep Ryan Smith at bay for 5th place, as he'll be rather 5th or 6th at the minute. You're Sturm, he continues, so he must be pitting the next lap. It's all about Spinell, Gosling. A little bit of a gap to Conor Marsh. I can't see Spinell letting Gosling through, to be honest.
Absolutely not. Regis Gosling is going to absolutely fight his way through. Now, look at the style of these drivers up ahead, very much the European lean-out style. What they're doing is trying to break the grip of that inside rear wheel to allow them to have a bit less understeer, because the solid rear axle causes that. You can see being quite tall, Sam Spinell and Regis Gosling shows it well, and it's into the pits comes the race leader Joris Sturm, Carl Power.
Yep, so Joris Sturm in now. So interestingly, in that battle with Ryan Smith, Joris stayed out. So as I said, Ryan was going to hope he stays out, so this is going to be very close. If Ryan is now at the pit stop, and I think he's managed to maintain his lead over Ryan.
But Smith's got momentum on him coming down into the snail area. He's going to go for the inside, is he? Oh, he tried, but Sturm had it covered. They're resuming in their fight. We're really looking at Loris, at Sturm and Smith there for the sake of Smith. But up at the front, it's Spinell, and it's a big fight. Look at this. Sam Spinell on your screen there. He's in the orange and yellow helmet. There's a minute to go. There's Regis Gosling with the big 26 on the side of a predominantly white helmet. Sam Slater's sort of struggling to hang on the back of Conor Marsh, but he's still there in the mix. Now, as they go through the snail section, there's less than a minute to go. They know it. They can see on the little monitor on the steering wheel, you can just about see when the cart's come into picture. And I also see it on around the side of the track, but it's still Sam Spinell now. This is the best chance for a passing move. Sam Spinell covers it. Gosling goes one side, Conor Marsh moving to the other. Sam Spinell holding off, great pressure there. Sam Spinell is the last lap now, one more lap to go. Spinell across the line from Gosling, Marsh and Slater as they round into the snail section there. There was a possibility to overtake there, it has not been taken. Spinell's got it covered, and really it's very tight behind. Maybe Gosling under more pressure from Conor Marsh than he has been at any other point, because as they enter the back stretch, Gosling's going to want to try and pass, but Marsh is going to move to wherever Gosling isn't, but they can't make it work. He can't make it work. It looks like it's Spinell. It's the final couple of corners. Here comes the checkered flag. Sam Spinell takes the win, absorbing massive pressure from Regis Gosling. Conor Marsh, incredible performance, inspired early pit stop to push himself up to third. Early leader Sam Slater fourth. Joris Sturm, long-time leader, bundled down to fifth in his battle with Ryan Smith, who has come sixth. Ben Churchill there, we haven't spoken much about him in this race, but he's come through into seventh place with Callum Conway in eighth, Harvey Ball ninth, and Zach Fenn rounding out the field there in 10th place. Lewis Manley, just before we go over to Kyle Power, that was quite a race.
It certainly was. As you can see, from first to about seventh, it was only under 8.5 seconds. So it just shows how high level this BRKC keeps going and going throughout the years. So it's really high level standards. So it's really exciting.
Absolutely, and when you look at the gap there between that first and fourth, it was very close throughout that. Sam Slater, of course, be a bit miffed maybe with having started pole coming out fourth, but gosh, he was closer to first place from fourth than most people were in the second. But Kyle, we're going to go down to you now, and for what you can get in the pit.
Yep, the drivers are just getting out. The top three are going to wait. I definitely want to speak to the top three, because that's and in particular Conor Marsh, who's my man of the race for that race from sixth. And I want to know if he made a mistake on his qualifying lap. I presume he did, because he had an unbelievable pace. So to jump from sixth to third in a BRKC race is, that doesn't happen every day of the week. So that was a fantastic drive. So I just need to get in position and hopefully intercept some drivers. I think I got 3 nods out of all of them. Sam Slater, he must be quite unhappy with that. I think he got bundled out on the hairpin. They're all just getting their helmets off now, and we're getting Sam Spinell come straight over. Brilliant. So, Sam Spinell, fantastic race. It looked like you were under pressure the entire way there.
Yeah, I had my teammate behind me. I knew we were going to work together. And then once I knew we were in front, it was just about defending. I knew he wasn't going to try anything stupid, but it was just not taking any risks. So it was a bit of backing up. But yeah, it was fun. Good race.
Yeah, brilliant. It certainly kept us entertained. Particularly, what happened over there in the snow and the hairpin? Did you have a bit of a a crazy lunge on Sam?
I saw that Sam he left a wide gap every time, so I just thought before the corner, I just knew I was going to go in and risk it, and it paid off.
Oh, brilliant, superb. Well, I have a medal for your efforts.
Thank you. Cheers.
There you go. Regis, superb race there. You were running around in third for quite a long time, for quite a bit of it. I thought you were going to pit out of it, but you stuck with it, managed to get up to second and secure it by the end, so good drive.
Yeah, I didn't drive for 3 years ago, and it was a very close race. And Sam, it's my friend, it's my teammate, so I tried to put a strategy during the race because the pressure behind me was very, very, very strong. So it's a good race because we win one places on the overall, so it's good. Good operation, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. So your team must be leading the team standings now. So have you got confidence of making the final?
I'm not confident because every driver can drive in the final. So the job is far away. So we will see.
Oh, brilliant. Well, if you keep putting performances like that, you'll be there in no time. Brilliant. Great drive. Okay, so I've just got Connor Marsh here. Connor, you're my man of the race for that one. 6th place up to 3rd. Brilliant pace. Did you make a mistake on your qualifying lap, or was it something wrong with the car?
To be honest, I'm not sure. I just sort of looked at the board like 6th, like, oh, that's a good start then, that's that sort of thing. So I thought, right, throw it in the pits first lap, see what happens. And I did that, I think, a couple of years ago, and it's worked out similar. So I knew I had the car to do it, and then when I saw the qualifying, I was like, I've done well there. That's a great shout, sort of thing.